Are you the type of person that has all these ideas of things that they want to accomplish in their life? Maybe a different career path, maybe a family that you want to have. Maybe it's just a little project that you want to start, or maybe there's a project around the house that you've been really wanting to do, but you think about it all the time, but you never actually take the step toward accomplishing it, right? It's a thought that you always have. You can see yourself doing it, but you just never actually take that leap toward one little task that is going to get you closer to accomplishing whatever it is that you want to do. You are not alone. You are not by yourself in this one. I am guilty of this as well, which is why I know this topic is so important, because I used to have all these things that I wanted to do, and I would say like, oh, tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day, and I'm thinking of all the things in my schedule that would make sense that, yeah, tomorrow seems a little bit better, or Wednesday is a much better day than trying to do that right now. I would make every excuse in the book, knowing that every day has its own challenge. Every day has its own obstacle that I have to overcome that still holds me back from taking that step forward toward the thing that I want to accomplish or do. And you want this so badly, whatever it is in your mind that you want to accomplish, but even when you try to take the little step, the procrastination just kicks in. You find something else that takes your mind off what it is you were supposed to be doing in that moment that is going to get you closer to the accomplishment of what you desire to create or do. And when I went through this, it was so difficult because I'm a person that I feel like I have so many different desires and dreams and things that I want to create. But when it comes down to it, I tell myself, I don't know how to. And that's what stops me. It's the lack of knowledge is typically what I would tell myself. Or it would be that, maybe this other thing is just more important, so I'll get to this at a different time. When I know now it was just a stupid fear that I have of a story I'm telling myself that I might fail, or I might not be able to do something right, or if I take that step, it's going to hold me back from something else I'm supposed to do because the grass is always greener on the other side, right? So you don't want to sabotage yourself. And I have done that so many times until I had to realize that deep down, it was just a stupid fear that I had of that failure, or just really the procrastination was just coming from a lack of confidence in whatever I told myself I had a dream that I wanted to do. Guys, I don't want you to hold yourself back. You got to take action when you feel driven to do something. You got to take action when you have this download of an idea that's put upon you, because that doesn't come from just anywhere for no reason. Like that download, that idea, that creative, image that you have in your mind of something that you want to do or create or accomplish, that is coming from somewhere important. A lot of times, if you really think about the mental images that you get of something that you want to accomplish and something that feels good to you, I mean, the way I look at it right now, every time I've taken action finally toward these mental downloads, it's something that I know is God given to me, because it always turns out so well. And the thing is, you're going to go through things that are difficult. So if you want something badly, you're going to go through adversities. If you want something badly, you're going to have to challenge yourself to get uncomfortable. But getting comfortable with being uncomfortable is one of the greatest steps that you can take in your entire life. I remember when I was, going through public speaking trauma, and with my position where I am now as a sales manager, I was going to have to speak in front of the whole sales department. I was terrified to public speak. And as soon as I told myself, where is this coming from? Why do I have this fear of standing in front of people and speaking on something that I truly feel like I can do really well and I have a lot of good information to provide? Why do I shake so much? Why do I turn so red? Why do I start sweating? Why can't I get the words out? Why do I feel like I'm going to stand there and look like a complete idiot? Where is this coming from? And I had to realize it was just from my own self-confidence that I was lacking. It was from my lack of preparation. It was from the idea that all I would think about is how the crowd would be looking at me and making fun of me, or speaking to how bad I'm doing, when it was just a mental switch that I had to do? Why was I going to the default setting of thinking of all the bad things when I could have just flipped it and thought about how much value I was going to deliver to those sales reps, how much I was going to bring to the table as far as knowledge and a skill set of understanding that was going to empower them and better their day and better their careers. Why wasn't I thinking about that? Well, the brain normally goes and tries to keep us safe. I've talked about this on many episodes, where it's constantly going to go to the fear state first. It's going to try to stop you from doing something that's outside your comfort zone. That's not safe, or something that is different. And a lot of times you just got to fight back. And you got to realize that you can rewire that mental thought, and you can take action toward the thing that you want to accomplish. So when it came down to the public speaking, I just had to take action. I had to start preparing, and I started my preparation, and I started rehearsing what I was going to say over and over and over, and visualizing myself doing a really good job, and visualizing myself actually bringing value to the sales team, and not thinking about all the things that could go wrong, but all the things that can go right. And as I'm becoming well prepared and I'm practicing and I'm taking action toward what I feel like is going to be me doing a great job, sure enough, the very first time I got up there, I might have been a little nervous, but I did a really good job. And I was pleasantly surprised. And the thing is, once you accomplish something that, one, you're fearful of, two, you don't have a lack of confidence in, and three, it's something that you would thought about that you wanted to do, but you never took the step to do it. Once you accomplish all that, there's a whole different identity that starts forming inside you. There's a whole different mentality that starts forming, where you're like, wow, if I could do this, what else could I do? Wow, I waited so long to do this and it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. Wow, I accomplished this. Like, I did this. This is something that I wasn't sure I was able to ever do. And once you check that box, it's like, okay, now what else can I do? What else can I accomplish? And you start realizing that you can do far more than you could possibly ever imagined. You're the only one holding you back. So if there's something that you want to create, if there's something that you want to accomplish, if there's something that you want to pursue, you have to take the leap of faith and realize that you got to take action toward it. Having the idea of something is great. Having the faith that it's something that you want to do is fantastic as well. But if you don't take action toward it, nothing's ever going to happen. That's like sitting here thinking that you want to start going to the gym and you want to get healthy, but never actually making it to the gym, or never actually walking outside and walking and doing something that is toward becoming healthier. You can't just sit on the couch, think about being healthy, and then be healthy. You have to take the action. And when the ideas and the creativity start getting downloaded onto your mind, you got to take action toward that. You got to take that intuitive action. There's a reason for that download. I got that download when I started thinking about how I want to take the things that I'm learning in my life, take the actionable steps, and really start helping people with these things that I'm learning about me, the things that are helping me improve the quality of my life, the development of my life, and realizing that I'm capable of so much more than I ever could have imagined. And I just got to get out of my own way. I have to rewrite my identity and saying, I'm not this person who's limited. I'm this person who can accomplish anything if I put my mind to it. And I have faith and trust that God is going to pave the path for me, knowing that it's something that I want to do in order to better serve others. So when I got the idea for this video, and I was like, you know what, I need to start doing these videos. I need to start getting all this information that has been helping me out there to the masses and help other people. It took a minute to say, oh, well, I don't have the right camera. Oh, I don't have a website yet. So how am I supposed to get people to think that I'm credible? I don't have this, and this isn't the right time. And I gotta. Once I just said, you know what, turn on the camera, turn on the mic, and just start talking and push record. And I did that. In the second I did that, everything opened up, right? Because I finally just took action. I wasn't waiting for things to be perfect. I wasn't waiting for the right moment in time. Guys, you're never going to have the perfect moment in time. You're always going to find a way to talk yourself out of it until you finally start talking yourself into it and taking action and doing it, because you can. The only thing that's holding you back is your own mental mindset. So guys, take action and accomplish the things that you want. You're not guaranteed a tomorrow, and you don't want to live with regrets that you never, took that leap forward to do something that you had such a desire and a passion to do, but your own mindset and your own fear and your own lack of confidence held you back. And if you're saying to yourself, well, I just don't know how to do it. I don't know what steps to take. I don't have the knowledge of pursuing this path that I want, to do. Look, everybody started out even. We all started out as little babies and knew absolutely nothing. Some of our circumstances were different, putting us in different circumstances to maybe start at an earlier age and get elevated, but we all have the capacity to learn and educate ourselves and find the right environment with the right mentors that are going to help you along the way. And you have to put yourself in position to actually be able to facilitate an environment of people that are going to lift you up and empower you and not bring you down and tell you can't do something. I talked about this in one of my previous videos when I was talking about the proximity principle. Put yourself in the environment, put yourself in around people that are going to better you and educate you and mentor you and lift you up and put you on the path toward the thing that you want to accomplish. And don't put yourself with a bunch of people that are going to be negative and pull you down. That's the last thing you need. And especially if you procrastinate, that's the worst thing you could do, is just be around a bunch of other procrastinators. What do you think is actually going to happen? You're never going to get anywhere. As a matter of fact, all you're going to be doing is getting absolutely nowhere or backtracking. So think about your surroundings, think about who you hang out with, and are they the right people that are going to get you to where you want to be? Guys, I wrote down this verse, and it kind of says it all. This is James 2:17. So also faith by itself, if it does not have works, it is dead. You can have faith, but if you don't take action, it's dead. If you can sit on the couch and have faith and dream about becoming healthy. But if you don't start eating healthy and you start changing your ways and you start, exercising, and I'm not saying you have to go to the gym, but if you don't take that step toward doing something, some actionable step to start on the path toward becoming healthy, it's dead. It's dead. It's never going to happen. So faith without works is absolutely dead. You guys got to take action. And it doesn't have to be a big deal. It doesn't have to be something that you feel like is work. If it's something that feels like work, it might not be something that is right for you anyway. When you are in this zone of something that you feel passionate about, you want to do it and it never feels like work. As a matter of fact, it's that flow state. I think it's Mihai who came up with the flow state. And the flow state is when you kind of start working on something or you're doing something and time kind of collapses. It's that moment in time where you're doing something and next thing you know, you look at the clock, it's 3 hours has gone by and you're like, how did that even happen? Like, wow, I've been doing this for 3 hours. It's that flow state. And when you're in the flow state, it's normally something that you're passionate about. It's normally something that you desire and really want to do. It never feels like work. That is probably something that you want to work toward, because that is a skill or a talent or something that was been provided to you, that God implanted in you, that you should probably be taking advantage of and doing. If you're holding back on a skill or a talent that God provided to you, you are holding back on something that ultimately, until you do it, you're probably not going to feel fulfilled. You probably know that you are a good singer. You probably know that you're a really good artist. You probably know that you're really good at communicating with people and empowering people and actually helping them become better in their lives. Maybe you're supposed to be, a life coach. Maybe you're supposed to be a sports coach, and help empower young teenagers. but you're not doing it because you're holding yourself back because of the fear, the confidence, whatever it may be, everything that we discussed, and you probably don't feel fulfilled. That's probably what's happening. You need to start moving toward the things that feel good in your life, the thing that you know that you've been thinking about, that you ultimately want to do. You just haven't taken the step to do it. Guys, take the step. It's absolutely worth it. I promise you that when you start taking that little leap, that 1%, I think it was James Clear talks about the 1% rule, doing something toward what you want to accomplish. Just 1% a day. It doesn't have to be a big thing, so it doesn't feel overwhelming. Just do a little something every single day, and you'll start seeing that trend where you're slowly but surely getting toward the thing that you want to accomplish, or the identity of the person that you want to be. And that is when the fulfillment, that's when the peace, that's when the happiness, that's when everything starts forming, because now you're moving in a state in which God wanted you to be on the right path. So guys, I hope this video helps you. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one.